As Cheech and Chong, that's right, they are suing California over the new marijuana regulation. That's right. Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong, best known for their comedy duo Cheech and Chong, have filed a lawsuit against the California Department of Public Health and over newly enacted regulation prohibiting hemp products with any detectable THC. The lawsuit was submitted by representatives of Cheech and Chong's Cannabis Co. alongside the U.S. Hemp Roundtable on Tuesday, September 24th, a day after Governor Gavin Newsom's emergency ban on hemp-derived THC products went into effect. It seeks to overturn Assembly Bill number 45, which outlaws any detectable amount of the psychoactive compound THC or other intoxicating substances, including Delta-8 THC, found in consumable cannabis and hemp products, such as dietary supplements, food, beverages, and pet food. Newsom emphasized that the regulation is intended to curb the psychoactive effects of hemp products, particularly to protect children from their dangers. And a quote says, "We will not sit on our hands as drug peddlers target our children with dangerous and unregulated hemp products containing THC at our retail stores," Newsom said in a press conference on September 6th, noting the products are often sold in convenience stores near schools. And an additional quote says, "We're taking action to close loopholes and increase enforcement to prevent children from accessing these dangerous hemp and cannabis products," he says. Lawyers for Cheech and Chong, whose 1970s stoner movies are now considered cult classics, contended that the emergency regulations overreached the intentions of AB 45. Introduced by the state's health department earlier this month, the rules would also restrict hemp product purchases to those aged 21 and older. In a quote, "Significantly, at the core, the department's emergency regulations is a provision that goes far beyond the limits contemplated in AB 45 to ban all hemp products unless they contain detectable levels of THC," the lawsuit states. "This draconian regulation alone will essentially devastate an emerging industry that consists largely of small business owners. It's akin to requiring candy to stop containing sugar." Oh, man, that's interesting. Plaintiffs in the lawsuit include Cheech and Chong's Global Holdings, Juice Vida, Blaze Life, Bolt Runners, Lucky to Be Beverage, and Sunflora. Other companies have also voiced opposition to the regulation, and AB 45 was established back in 2021 to create a regulatory framework for the hemp industry. Newsom argued, however, that the existing regulations did not adequately prevent minors from accessing intoxicating hemp products. In a quote, "In the industry, there's full responsibility for not policing itself for the proliferation of these intoxicating products that are hurting our children," Newsom said at the press conference, where he displayed hemp products marketed to children, including gummies and beverages. Them beverages again. The lawsuit claims the governor acted beyond the boundaries of California law to issue the ban, causing potential losses in the millions of dollars for cannabis companies. And this ban is effective until March of 2025 and is described by Newsom as an interim measure while lawmakers develop new regulatory legislation. Cheech and Chong plan to file a separate petition for a temporary restraining order to block the THC ban while the state refines its procedures within AB 45. And a new report recommends larger role. Oh, hold on, sorry. That's my next story, you guys. But man, oh man, oh man, I can't tell you guys, this is so crazy. We all knew that this lawsuit was definitely going to be coming, and I think this lawsuit will ultimately be successful because I do think it is a broad overreach for them to be able to put an outright ban on these products when AB 45's intention was to create a regulatory framework. But nonetheless, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Oh, go ahead, Jenny.
No, go ahead, Dr. T.
I was going to say, wasn't this ban started by representatives from retailers who wanted to stop the hemp industry from taking over some of the cannabis business? I mean, wasn't that where the impetus for the ban came from?
I'm not.
Yeah. I mean that and protect.
They felt there's unfair competition.
So this started with work from CCIA. Is that what we're saying?
It was UC. I don't know these acronyms.
Yes, CCIA is the state trade organization for cannabis.
They were
retail.
supporting it. Yeah,
and
to me, it's like, listen, competition is competition. Stop prohibition. Prohibition is bad. Here to Cheech and Chong. for going after these guys. It's a good business move anyway, but we've been under prohibition for so long, and shame on those who are in this industry for using prohibition rather than competition. Get your laws changed if you don't like them, but don't change this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's an easier way to deal with this than an outright ban, right? Yes, true. Do I want my son going to the gas station on the way home from school and grabbing a 10-pack of, boner pills and THC gummies? No, I don't. Chews. But there are ways to shut this down. You know what I mean? There are ways to regulate and make someone show an ID, just the same way he can't walk into a liquor store and buy a 6-pack of beer on the way home. There are ways to make sure that they put testing regulations like every other product that's ingestible that's on the shelf. There are ways that we can control this without an outright ban. I think shame on you guys for pushing a ban on something just because you're failing. I'm so sick of, especially in California, hearing the whole market scream and cry about how they're a victim because they can't sell and make money and boo, 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 I had to turn my Tesla in. Sorry, it sucks.
Straight up. And that's been the biggest cries have been from shop owners who, were always claiming to be representative of the culture and the patients. The moment you see this, anything pointed at their pocketbooks, all of a sudden they start snitching, running to city councils, looking for bans, etc. But again, this is just that same crew who came into weed to make money, not for the love of the plant. And you just watch them as they founder and flounder because of what's going on. And I have always been involved with cannabis because of my love for. Have made money at times from cultivation and sales because we all have to eat food, and no matter what any of us do and what stands we try to take, because we're caught in this capitalist system, unless you want to live on BLM land and habits and forage and live in a debris hut, going to have to compromise a little bit and these things. I don't fault anybody for making money off of cannabis, provided that love for the plant is preeminent. The love for the plant, the sharing, the inclusion of other people in the culture. All these people, I say it every time, I'm like a broken record. 90% of these clubs all jumped in when all of a sudden you weren't going to catch a prison sentence. Their uncle had a shop. They wanted to make a bunch of money by taking advantage of cultivator. Since the 215 model, all we watch is quality and price. I rolled down the drain.
Right. I might suggest growing better weed.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this much. I think it should be just simple. Just a 21 years over. Boom. Make it easy. All of these stores can card people, and then you can go after the shops that don't card them, just like they would go after liquor stores or 7-Elevens if they're not carding for cigarettes or for alcohol and that, and just kind of just call it that. It's an easy way to enforcement because they're never going to clear all these products off the shelves in all these stores throughout the country. Or even in California.
Yeah, but there's no evidence that the emergency is even happening. Show me the evidence that there's an increase in cannabis use because it's in the stores more among the teenagers.
Well, the thing is, though, Dr. T, is I think everyone agrees that these products you shouldn't just be able to just go and buy in the convenience store in that sense. And so I think having an age gap is an appropriate a measure to combat against that, and then it shows some responsibility and integrity from the community.
No, 100%.
Cool. Yeah.
You remember when Spice and K2 was a thing, right?
Yeah.
So either if you were on probation, you were smoking Spice, which is insanely dangerous because it's sold as incense, or you were underage and you went to the smoke shop and somehow they sold you some Spice. That stuff was insanely dangerous.
They even sold ecstasy in head shops before they made it illegal because they didn't know how to classify it at first, so they didn't have a way to make it illegal in the beginning.
Oh boy.
Just saying, you guys.
I think there's way more dangerous things in those boner pills and blue chews that we're going to find in those little shitty hemp gummies.
Fair enough. Did we lose Dr. T? Did he?
I see his square on our feed, but I don't see him. Yeah. And they tested, in fact, not to go too far sideways, but they tested a bunch of those gas station boner pills and found not just sildenafil and other actual, boner medications, but different steroids, experimental steroids, and all kinds of weird shit. Don't eat anything from the gas station, man. Maybe one of those apples or bananas, but other than that, just get out of there.
I don't want. Do you want gas station hands on your apples and your bananas?
No, I honestly, for me, I travel, I'd rather starve. If I can't find, like, I'll look for like a Whole Foods or a natural food market to buy some berries, like some jerky or some smoked salmon. If I can't find anything, I don't eat fast food. I don't eat gas station food. I'd rather starve. The thing is, if you don't eat, then your body eventually starts pushing out stem cells. You're healing yourself instead of killing yourself.
I had a conversation about you yesterday and your love for the natural grocer in your area.
I'm all about it.
And in all fairness, his grocery store is pretty nice. I've been grocery shopping up there.
Shout out to Oliver's, you guys.
Shout out
Four
to Oliver's.
locations, maybe even 5 in Sonoma County. I call them Grandma Oliver's because of all their fresh cooked food, man. Organic salads. I just for real at Oliver's.